Hi dear students, welcome back to AI and Python series. As you have noted in the thumbnail, today's topic is all about how to eat a full chicken. Since our subject is not home science or dietology, it's pure computer science, right? So we'll not be taking the subject or the topic directly. Instead, we'll be taking it for the day's topic, that is problem solving indirectly, right? So you'll be very eager to know what the lesson is, right? Okay, so today's topic is programming logic and techniques. Mainly we deal with problem solving, right? Problem solving in the sense you have already heard of a problem, what a problem is, right? But in real world we do call it as challenge, right? Let's take eating a full chicken as a challenge. Of course we can do it, right? But there are a lot of ways to do it. You can eat it as a whole, or means taking the complete, means the full chicken on your hand and have it, right? But it may not be effective or efficient technique, right? Okay, another efficient technique is, of course, you can break it into pieces, right? And you can eat piece by piece, right? Okay, but okay, so that's a logic, of course, here. And eating a full chicken in the real world we can call it as a challenge, right? In the real world we can call it as a challenge, just like ice bucket challenge, right? Yes, but in programming or in the world of computer science we can call it as a problem, right? We can call it as a problem. So eating a full chicken in the world of computer science can be called as a problem. How we get it? Yes. So here in the real world it is a challenge, and in the programming world or in computer science world it is a problem. Then what is a problem? A problem is nothing but a puzzle. Okay, a problem is nothing but a puzzle that needs logical thinking to solve it. Logical thinking means thinking logically, okay, computationally or mathematically. We can say logical thinking is a way of thinking, taking care of reasoning. Okay, the power to reasoning. Okay, yes. So a problem is a puzzle that requires logical thought or logical thinking to solve it. In addition to that, complex process, it is a complex process requiring much thought, careful planning and logical precision. Okay, so logical thinking is a complex process, it's not a simple process, it is a complex process that needs much thought, thinking ability to think, then careful planning. Okay, we need a careful planning, a thorough planning, and of course logical precision, the accuracy of doing or completing the solving process. Okay, that is what exactly a problem is. A problem is a puzzle that needs logical thinking to solve it. That's it, right? Then we need careful planning, and of course logical precision is also needed, right? Yes. So that is what exactly a problem is. So here we take what eating a full chicken as our challenge in the real world, and when it comes to computer science we can call it as a problem. So we are going to fix which problem? Eating a full chicken, right? So here in the world of computer science, that's a problem. Okay, then let's look at how to solve it, how to solve a problem. So we already got what a problem is, which needs what thinking capacity, thinking ability. Then let's look at how to solve a problem. Okay, of course there is a problem, we have to solve it, we have to fix it anyway. Okay, here the problem is eating a full chicken, and how do we solve it? Will you hold the full chicken on your hand and eat it like this? Yes, of course that is one of the methods. But what is the problem? After some time your hands may be getting tired, right? Yes. So that is not of course an effective way. And what is the effective way? You can break down the full chicken into pieces, right? Either into 8 pieces. Okay, 8 pieces. Then again into what 16 pieces, right? Okay, we'll divide the full chicken into 8 pieces. Then we'll divide it again. Okay, and finally we get 16 pieces. Of course 16 pieces, it will be very easy for you, it will be simple for you to eat, right? Yes, so that is the logic. Okay, we divide the full chicken into smaller pieces. First we have divided it into 8 pieces. Okay, and 8 pieces itself is eating 8 pieces itself is seems to be what? Complex, right? Yes, and what we do is we'll again divide 8 pieces into what? 16 pieces, right? 16 pieces. So it will be small in size, it will be very easy for you to eat it up, right? Yes. So that's a logic, dividing and conquering. Divide the problem into sub problems and sub problems again into sub problems until we reach a stage where each of these sub problem can be easily solved. In the case of chicken, we have done what? Divided the full chicken into 8 pieces, again into 8 pieces. Total we get 16 pieces, right? Yes. So eating one by one will be easy. So that's a very logic we apply here in the world of computer programming also. Okay, yes. So that's a logic. Then another example, your math textbook. Okay, how do you solve? The name of the problem is your math textbook. Okay, maths textbook. Okay, how do you solve the problem? Actually, math textbook is divided into different units, right? Different units, and each unit is divided into different chapters, and each chapter is divided into different topics, and each topic into different subtopics, right? This is the way of categorizing or dividing, right? Math textbook into different units into different chapters into different topics, different topics into different subtopics, again into subtopics. Okay, so that is the way of what? Solving a problem. Okay, and the approach is called modular approach or divide and conquer approach. Actually, the main process here is division, right? So the process is called modular approach or divide and conquer approach. And okay, that's an approach, and the process is called modularity. Okay, modularity. And what is modularity or modular approach or divide and conquer approach? What is that? Yeah, a problem is divided into subproblems, again into subproblems, until we reach a stage where each of these subproblem can be easily solved. Okay, that's a definition. Hope you get it. Modularity is a process, or modular approach is an approach. Okay, what it does? Yes, of course, it divides a problem into subproblems, again into subproblems. It continues, right? Yeah, until we reach a stage where each of these subproblem can be easily solved. Here in the case we have seen full chicken into 8 pieces, again divided into 16 pieces, finally get 16 pieces, right? And 16 pieces, eating it up will be easy, other than eating a full chicken, right? Yes, so that's a logic. And okay, yeah, so divide and conquer approach or modular approach. Then let's have okay, these two are real life examples, right? Okay, eating a full chicken, and of course solving your maths textbook. Okay, that's a problem, solving it. Okay, these are real world examples. Let's come to a computer science example. Okay, suppose you're developing a software for school management. SMS stands for school management system. Okay, school management system. So you're going to develop a software for managing our school, your school. Okay, yes. So how will you think? Okay, the software name is what? School management system. Then that's a problem. We will divide the problem into subproblems, right? And okay, we'll be seeing which are the different fields in our school, different functionalities, right? First we have office, right? So we'll be dividing the school management system into different sub-programs, right? So first we'll be taking care of what? Official, right? Official, then academics, then non-academics, then library, and so on. So that's a very logic, right? School management system is our problem, and we will divide the problem into what? We will solve the problem dividing it into sub problems, right? So SMS is the main problem, and these are the sub problems: official, academics, non-academics, library, okay, etc. Right? Hope you get the concept, the very concept, right? Yes. And in real world also we are following the same. Actually, computer science logic is came out of the real world, so it will be easy for even programmers to do it, right? To fix it. Yes. So that is what approach in real world and computer science examples are. Okay. Yes. So now we have steps to solve a problem. Different steps to solve a problem. You know, okay, we have already discussed it, but we will be connecting it to computer science. Okay, computer science programming. Okay, yes. So first we will define the problem. We will define the problem. Then, like, what is defining a problem? Here it is: eating a full chicken, or solving your maths textbook, or school management system, development of school management system. That's your problem. Okay, so we'll define the problem first. This is my problem. That's what defining the problem is. Okay, then define the solution, or we can say define the solutions. Okay, we'll have different solutions, like what? Full chicken, we can divide it into 8 pieces and you can start eating, no problem. But okay, another solution is you can divide it into 16 pieces. Which one will be effective or efficient? Of course, dividing it into 16 pieces. So okay, these are the different ways. So these are the different solutions. So define the solutions is the second step. And the third is map the solution. These are the two steps, right? Two solutions. you can divide the full chicken, your full chicken into either 8 pieces or 16 pieces. So you'll go for 16 pieces, right? So that's what mapping the solution is. We'll fix this 16 pieces. Actually, there are number of solutions and we will fix a solution. That is what mapping the solution is. Here in the case, 8 pieces is the first solution and 16 pieces is the second solution, and we will map the second solution, right? Yes. Then, okay. So this first 3 can be connected even to real world, and the last 2 write the program and test the program. It is specifically to computer science programming. Okay. Yes. Write the program. We will write the code, source code. Okay. We'll code the program. We'll write the source code. That's it. Then test the program. We'll test it. Of course, we have to test it, right? We'll have to what? Do tested. Okay. Right. Yes. That's what test the program is. Okay. So we will be looking at these 2 later in our coming classes, because we are just going to learn. Okay. We have just started learning, right? So, okay, we'll be doing it. So these are the different steps to solve a problem. Okay, hope you get it. Define the problem, define the solutions, map the solution, write the program and test the program. Okay. Now we have planning tools. Of course, we have seen how can we solve a problem, divide and conquer or modular approach or modularity, and we have seen different steps. Now we have planning tools. There are certain tools that helps us to plan. Of course, planning makes everything efficient and effective. Okay, you must have a thorough planning, you must have a clear planning. Doing means before doing something, right? Yes. So planning makes everything effective and efficient. Whatever you are doing, planning makes it effective and efficient. Okay. So these are the 2 planning tools, algorithm and flowchart. We have number of other planning tools as well, like decision tree, pseudocode. Okay, we'll not be discussing all that. These are the most commonly used planning tools, algorithm and flowchart. So here in this lesson, we will be learning one more topic, algorithm. Okay, algorithm. Actually, what is algorithm? Algorithm is nothing but step-by-step instructions to solve a problem. Okay, step-by-step instructions written in English to solve a problem. Whatever problem is, but algorithm is a terminology that mainly used in computer science. Okay, or in computer programming. Hope you get it. Yeah. So an algorithm is a set of instructions designed to perform a specific task. Okay, this is the official definition, the formal definition. An algorithm is a set of instructions designed to perform a specific task. Okay, we'll be learning examples, don't worry. Then another definition, it is a well-defined procedure that allows a computer to solve a problem. Okay, it is a well-defined procedure. It is not even a defined procedure. It is a well-defined procedure that allows a computer to solve a problem. And okay, the name coming out of from Al Gore. Okay, Al Gore's contribution to computer science. Okay, Al Gore. Okay, the name from Al Gore, based on Al Gore's contribution to computer science and computer programming, internet. Okay, yes. So algorithm. So yes. Okay. Now let's see an example. Algorithm for finding sum of 2 numbers. Okay. Okay. Just before coding a program, we need a planning. That is what we are doing with algorithm is. Okay. Yes. So how to add 2 numbers? Just think of it. How to add 2 numbers? Here we have 5 distinct steps. Okay, or 5 steps. First step, start. We'll start the program. Okay. Then what we want to do is input A and B. Actually, we are adding 2 numbers, so we have to input 2 numbers to the computer. Okay. Another word is accept. Actually, when we look at the end of from the end of programmer or the software, it accepts A and B, right? Input is from user side, right? Yes. So from software side, it is accept A and B. Then C equal to A plus B. C means it is a variable. Okay, it's a variable that stores the result of A and B. Okay. Then you can print C. You can display C. Finally stop. Hope it is very, very simple, right? First and last, start and stop, right? And in between start and stop, we have, okay, actually we are adding 2 numbers. So software has to accept 2 numbers, right? A and B, and it has to store the result. And finally stop. So let's look this algorithm from the side of a software. Okay, suppose you are the software. So initially what we do is we will start the process. That's what start is. Okay, and as a software, you have to receive values, right? You have to receive 2 values. You have to accept 2 values. Let's consider the value of A as 2. and the value of B as 3. So you as a software has to receive two values because you have to perform addition, right? Addition on A and B or 2 and 3. And of course, not only receiving two values, you have to perform the actual operation. Here the operation is addition. Addition on A and B, or we can say 2 and 3. Not only adding two numbers, you are storing the result in a third variable. Okay, A and B are variables and C is also a variable. So in C, we are storing A plus B, that is 2 plus 3, 5, right? So C has 5. And as a software, you don't have to keep it with you, right? It has to be displayed. It has to be printed. So what we are doing is printing. Finally, stop. Print 5. Okay, then stop. So SS means as a software, you have to accept two values. You have to perform the operation and you have to display the result. These are the main three entities, and the first and last, start and stop. Hope you get the idea of algorithm, right? Okay. Now we have an example. Okay, another example, algorithm for making a phone call. I think you can tell it, right? You yourself can tell it. Yeah. So how do we make a phone call? Just like make an algorithm for that. First, we'll pick the phone, right? Yes. Second step, we will unlock the phone. Unlock the phone. Third step, either we dial the number or we find the contact, right? Okay, go to contacts. Okay, we'll take the contacts. Then we'll dial the number. Then phone call, right? These are the 5 steps. So, okay, we can have start and stop, no problem. So, okay, without start and stop, let's have what? Pick the phone, then unlock the phone. Okay, go to contacts, then find the contact and dial, and finally make the call. So these are the steps, right? So you can make algorithm for anything, but in real world we do not say it as algorithm. Algorithm is a pure computer science terminology. Okay, so that's what algorithm is. You can have algorithm for any sort of activity, any kind of activity, no problem. Okay, yes. So these are the topics. Okay, yes. So today's topic, let's have a quick revision. Programming logic and techniques. So first we have looked at eating a full chicken. Okay, that was so challenge, and here in computer science we can call it as problem, right? Yes, problem. And we have seen what a problem is. The formal definition, problem is a what? Puzzle. Okay, that means logical thinking, logical reasoning, and some sort of what? Planning. Okay, careful planning, logical precisions. Yes, precision. Okay, yes. Then how to solve a problem? Now we get understood what a problem is. Then we'll try to solve it. Okay, using different planning tools and different methodologies to solve. Yes. So full chicken we can divide into 8 pieces and again into 8 pieces. Okay, that process is called modularity. Then okay, your textbook into different units, different into chapters, then different chapters into different topics into different subtopics, and the process of division is called modular approach. Means the approach is called modular approach or divide and conquer approach. Okay, and the process is called modularity. Okay, and a computer based example, school management system. Will divide the problem, school management system, into different parts. Okay, sub problems, official, academics, non-academics, library, and if it's needed, we'll divide these into okay, different sub programs, right? Sub problems or sub programs, whatever it is. Then these are the steps: define the problem, define the solution, map the solution, then write the program and test the program. Okay, then planning tools, algorithm and flowchart. Yes, algorithm is a set of instructions designed to perform a particular task or a specific task, and well-defined procedure that allows computer to solve a problem. Okay, Algo's contribution, that's why the name algorithm. And we have seen algorithm for finding sum of two numbers and making a phone call. Okay, so hope you understood everything. All these are very simple topics. Okay, yeah. So you must have a clear understanding of all this, because you're going to learn programming. So before doing some sort of program, you need a planning, right? That only makes what your problem or programming efficient and effective. So planning is a what? Essential entity. Okay, the most essential entity. So okay, these are the planning tools, right? So hope you understood it. So this is all for the time being. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. See you in the next video. Take care.